So it's really in the heart of everything. Once you land at the Sheraton, you have access to all of the retail shopping, all of the restaurants, short walk to Venetian, to Parisian, all within the complex.
Yeah.
And then secondly is the food aspect. So we do have 7 chefs within our culinary team that are able to accommodate all means of dietary requirements. So although I think travellers, when they come outside of India, they're adventurous, they do enjoy something which appeals to their heart, which is the food aspect of it.
The good part about Indian food is it's equally liked by Chinese as well. Okay, in our restaurant Feast, which is our all-day dine restaurant, there is a section for Indian food, which is every day, every meal period.
Okay.
So whether it is breakfast, lunch, or dinner, there is a section of the buffet which is being kept separately for the Indian food.
Okay.
There are these Indian chefs that we talked about, which is on our thing. They are the one who help us in feast. They are the one who help us for our banqueting events if we have a big event, and they do make a fantastic dal. Yeah. So the fact is that since they have to cater for all, so they cover from a non-vegetarian to a vegetarian. But yes, we do not have an elaborate Indian menu. But if we get any prior to our arrival a requirement, the chef's more than happy to do something different. So that's what happened for Sheraton. For Sheraton, the option for us is to do it in Feast. But for St. Regis, it's a little more different. The whole brand is different. The whole offering is different. So for us in St. Regis, whenever we see a guest from Indian origin coming in, what we do, we write to him in detail to say that what would be your requirement.
Okay.
And based on that requirement, the food is prepared in advance.
Okay.
So for example, they will, if they're staying for 4 days, the chef will send them a 4-day breakfast options.
Okay.
The chef will tell them that you have an option of ordering in-room dining, and these are the items that you can order in the room and have your food. Be it chapatis, be it a Jain food, be it a South Indian food, or they want to have a poha for breakfast, all those options are easily available. The only thing that we need a little bit of a time and an input to say what we can do for you.
It's mixed between leisure travel and coming for meetings and events, incentive travel. Okay. So, I think for Sheraton, we see a lot of that incentive traveller. But at the same time, during the big holiday periods here in India, we experience quite a lot of leisure family travel.
And when we talk about the Indian clientele coming in, we have to understand that there is a huge amount of Indians staying in Hong Kong as well. So all those Indian visiting their Hong Kong relatives, Macao becomes as a destination where they want to bring them and showcase them what's happening. So we do get leisure traveler, we do get travelers who are coming as part of the MICE, which is more of a conference, and we do get leisurely celebration kind of a thing also happening in Macao. So it caters for all. The walking distance there within the same complex, if I have to put it this way. It's the largest hotel, largest Marriott hotel. It's the largest Sheraton in the world, and it's the largest hotel in Macau as well, with 4,001 rooms. The biggest challenge that comes to us is to ensure that we maintain the sanity of the two brands, because we look after, between Daniela, myself and the team, we look after Sheraton as well as St. Regis, and those two brands are very, very unique in their own ways. On top of it, the occupancies that we do throughout the year is on high 90s.
Okay.
So you can well imagine we run a very, very busy operation. Now when you run a very busy operations like this, there are two things that comes very handy. If I have to be very frank, we are blessed to have a fantastic team. That's if you ask me, that's the heart of it. The second part that you say that how do we do it? For when you run such a big and busy operations, your planning is the most crucial aspect of your operations. So a lot of time, unlike any normal hotels that I've worked in the past, in this particular hotel, we spend lots and lots of time in preparing and planning.
Okay.
So we do have some very short constructive meetings, but there are a lot of meetings happening because we are covering 2 hotels, 2 departments multiply by the 2 hotels, and then we to ensure that we are giving a great experience.
Okay.
We get a lot of nationalities there. Everybody feels that they are the most important, and we want to make them feel that they are the most important guest for us. So creating these moments and memories for the guest, that takes away most of our time. And guest feedback is always an indicator for us to understand how we are doing, what we can do better. And in our business, there's always a scope of doing better. There's a very unique aspect of it that there are 31 or now as of yesterday 32 brands with Marriott.
Okay.
Okay. Now every brand has its own core value and a core culture, so to say. For us, having 2 different brands, so you can imagine we have a 2 culture, and as one team we try to embrace the culture together and make it as inclusive as possible. There are certain traditions, like we call it as a core values, what defines the brands. Okay, so there's a different core values for Sheraton and a different core value for St. Regis, and these core values, believe me, really drives us. So when you will meet an associate from St. Regis, and I can tell you, if I don't tell you what are those values, the interaction will come up to a conclusion where we'll say, oh, you know what, this particular associate is reflecting these values. When you meet an associate for Sheraton, you'll find the values which are very much driven by Sheraton.
Okay.
So these core values every brand is having. People remain in the center of this, and it all develops from there.
Okay.
So I guess there is a core essence that joins us together. And like for Sheraton, globally, all the Sheraton will talk the same language.
Okay.
Globally, all St. Regis will talk the same language.
So we constantly come to market. That's sort of our number one objective is to make sure we come here, meet the really key customers that have potential to have outbound business. We also have a dedicated Indian sales manager on our team. So he's been with us since the opening of the hotel. He's very connected in the market, and he works seamlessly. Marriott has a very large sales organisation on the ground here in India, so that those interactions are seamless between the Marriott sales team and our sales team in Macao. We work hand in hand. And then locally in the market, we work with a lot of the B2B agencies on advertising the destination, because I think that's the other critical thing, is to make sure that we work closely with the Macao Government Tourism Office to promote the destination and the experiences that are available.
I don't know if you know, but Macao was a colony of Portugal, so that's where you feel a little bit of traces of what you see in Goa.
Yeah.
So the food has a little bit of an influence. What you would have seen, the spices are because they use the same spice route. So the spices that you have in the food is very similar to that you get it in Goa as well. So the Macanese food or the Portuguese food has a very clear, yes.
We have some spices in our Bloody Mary too.
Yes, yes.
So the St. Regis
The
has
pink pepper and
unique
sea salt.
drink called the Bloody Mary. Every St. Regis around the world has a unique Bloody Mary for their destination.
Okay.
So our Bloody Mary is called Mary de Leste, and it's the whole story behind it is about the Portuguese and the trade route that they took to Macau, which includes Goa and some of the spices from there.